London's East End, famous for its culture, market stalls, and in particular its outstanding graffiti. But is it really as great as all that? I travelled to Aldgate East to find out more. Street art, or graffiti as some may call it, has been around for decades. Some could argue that it's been around since when man was painting on his cave wall. The kind of street art we know is of course the kind with spray cans, which was developed in New York in the 1960s. The 1970s was the golden era for subway tagging, which soon got out of control and became a huge problem. Now of course there's so much graffiti in London, but what actually is it? Basically what it is, it's... Thanks Tim. Graffiti, writing or drawing scribbled, scratched or sprayed illicitly on a wall or other surface in a public place. So what is street art? There has always been a very controversial view on whether graffiti is art or vandalism. With some people being very artistic with their work, street art looks beautiful. However, some people aren't graffitiing to be creative, they simply just want to write offensive words on buildings. But not all graffiti is just words on a wall. Sometimes it actually can convey a serious message. For example, this one is by a guy called Otto Shade and it's called Taking Back Happiness, and he wants people to be aware of different countries around the world, such as Afghanistan and Syria, and how that children are being robbed from their childhood. Fun fact for you as well, Otto Shade also donates all of his profits to charities, so ain't that nice of him? Now, although these are beautiful pieces of art, they are still actually defined as graffiti because they are illegal and have been put up without permission. Graffiti can be a nuisance and it is expensive to clean up. So, should it be allowed to happen? In places like Shoreditch, Camden and other less privileged parts of London, graffiti happens almost without consequence. It even attracts tourists and, more importantly, money into these areas. What's interesting is actually seeing this work on both sides of the course. So one side, artists get to show off their creative work, and then the other side, the shopkeepers have an increase of money. But if this is constantly a threat by the government going to erase them, then obviously it's there's always going to be name tags around and tacky stuff, instead of amazing artwork. However, I'm sure there'll be some who say this art form will actually make people afraid to visit an area because it is associated with thugs and hooligans, which will result in lack of tourists and messy streets. Brick Lane certainly has a strong attraction to it because of its excellent street art. But it doesn't change the fact that it does damage property and it's still illegal. What's your say?